Tuesday, everybody. They're tearing down flyers because they're atrocity deniers. Yeah, it looks like the kids aren't all right.
They've lost their minds. College kids supporting deadly assault. Don't ask why. You're old and lame and everything is your fault. See them tearing down the signs. No need to read between the lines. Look on campus and you'll find the kids aren't alright. The kids aren't alright.
Nice. It's true. Last week, several NYU students were caught tearing down flyers with pictures of the Israeli hostages still being held by Hamas. You know, because tearing down statues is so 2021. One nitwit explained her actions with a woke word salad that would make Kamala reach for the croutons. Quote, I have found it increasingly difficult to know my place as a biracial brown woman, especially during these highly volatile times. I have felt more and more frustrated about the time we currently find ourselves in and misplaced that anger into actions that are not an accurate representation of who I am as a person. You know, libs always say something like that when they get in trouble. You know that bad thing you saw me do? That really isn't who I am. It's a milder version of pleading insanity after you kill someone. You just followed your belief, and you're doing it, genius. Who else was it, anyway? Flo from Progressive? Nah, it's on you, lady. Your actions represent who you are as a person, no matter how you try to gaslight everybody. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, then tearing one down is worth at least that. And really, tearing down a poster is silencing something. And you always say, silence is violence. She also used her skin color as a defense. I did it because I'm brown. Of course, if we said that, you did it because you're brown, we'd be canceled faster than Lizzo's subscription to the Salad of the Month Club. But this so-called misplaced anger isn't a one-off. Throw a dart on the map and you'll find it's on every campus, even high schools. At Stanford, some Palestinian students were harassed while tearing down posters of the hostages. They're being painted as the victims by the Stanford Daily. Yes, they were confronted while they excused terrorism. But they're the victims, not those being burned alive or beheaded. Remember, these are usually the same people who call misgendering queer folk an act of violence, but are now defending those who'd throw gays off a roof. But lucky for them, they're not where the action is, but far enough away so their identity doesn't entail risk. And so in today's protester, you see no empathy for the hostages, no recognition of our common humanity, just a complete self-obsession. And less self-control than you'd see from Chris Christie at a pie-eating contest. You know, it doesn't feel like the old days. It's not normal college kids being stupid. This is maniacal madness, a brainwashing effect, a bona fide political hysteria. Congratulations, professors. Mission accomplished. Campuses are now where the truth ends up more confused than Ilhan Omar's husbands at a family reunion. And speaking of families, where are the parents? Do they have any... Thank you. Do they have any idea whether their kids are actually theirs anymore? Those kids are also held hostage, or rather their brains are. Is mom and dad fine with what they've become on their dime? Is this a result of their own ignorance and lax belief? We have to move past these damn stupid kids these days, because it's something else. Much like hysterias over gender and race. But why rabid anti-Semitism, especially among pampered brats who've never been oppressed a day in their lives? They're no better than those losers in khakis chanting Jews will not replace us, but at least their tiki tortures used alternative energy sources. And today, there's way more of this Jew hate than that one-off, but the media plays their favorites. And today's students have no immunity against awful ideas. Critical thinking is now considered racist. Nothing can penetrate their bubble. And it's not just students tearing down posters. Lots of adults have been struck by this mind virus. In Miami and Boston, it was dentists. What the hell are they teaching at dental school? Fight Jews, not plaque? In L.A., it was a makeup artist. It's enough to make your mascara run. Baltimore, London, NYC, it's happening everywhere. Meanwhile, the White House has shifted to, you guessed it, Islamophobia.
What is his level of concern right now about the potential rise of anti-Semitism in light of everything that's going on in Israel?
So a couple of things. We have not seen any credible threats. I know there's been always questions about credible threats. But look, Muslim and those perceived to be Muslim have endured a disproportionate number of hate-fueled attacks. And certainly President Biden understands that many of our Muslim, Arab Americans and Palestinian American loved ones and neighbors are worried about the hate being directed at their communities.
Now, after getting deservedly roasted for that, she now says she misheard the question. Still, it's no wonder why many American Jews feel abandoned. One Jewish Dem says he never felt so isolated from people he considered allies, who now seem supportive of Jewish genocide. So now we must show the atrocities, since the denial that they occurred persists. On Monday, the IDF shared video containing graphic evidence the horrors Hamas inflicted on Israeli civilians. Which brings me back to these college kids. Will they back up their beliefs and look at those videos? Shouldn't we make them? Why let these gutless cowards dismiss the evidence of Hamas crimes without a fight? After all, you want to know why these kids are tearing down hostage posters? They're in an environment where that's okay, better than okay. A world where the New York Times relies on Hamas to tell them the truth, and the White House is more worried about equity than equality. A world where 1,700 sociology professors signed a letter accusing Israel of genocide and saying we need to put the slaughter of Jews into the context of, quote, settler colonial occupation in European empire. Oh, they love context when it excuses the murder of Jews. The problem is the rest of us have to live in the same world. These freaks aren't going away. And they aren't willing to listen. This isn't just about Israel versus Palestine. It's about civilization versus those who despise it. It's time for parents to wake up and look at how they vote and how they parent. And ask yourself, should I be sending little Billy to a place that replaces geometry with gender and history with hysteria? A place that turns your once happy, curious child into an angry, delusional robot that mocks a massacre. If you don't step up, then maybe you're the problem too. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and now it's rotten to its core. What?